Hello, Big Show nerds. I am back. It has been a week off. Still just a rumors episode, as you learned by clicking the thumbnail. We've got a fair amount. We've actually got a lot of Star Wars stuff going on, and some of it is even The Rise of Skywalker, which is weird because it's already out. But there are still things going on rumors-wise for that. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about. All of the upcoming stuff is generating a ton of rumors and speculation. So let's hit the intro, and then we'll get into it. As it stands right now, next week will not be a return to the regular format. We will likely return to the regular format the week following next week. So we will just do the one episode again for rumors next week and then return to the news on the third week of the new year. Happy New Year, by the way. So that is where things stand for the show. For those of you watching the episode, you can see by the backdrop behind me, there is a lot of stuff going on in my personal life right now as well that's kind of affecting that decision, and also by extension my ability to update all of the things that need to be updated. So that is where we stand now. We've got rumors to talk about. The first one is hopefully the last time I'm going to have to talk about the Rise of freaking Skywalker. That's not entirely true. I do anticipate making a couple of actual videos specifically discussing the Rise of Skywalker, so check out my YouTube channel, Generally Nerdy, if again you're not already watching that. Anyway, so now J.J. Abrams has apparently joined the ranks of Scott Snyder rather. Zack Snyder's the comic book writer. I don't know why I always confuse the two, but so Scott Snyder released the Snyder Cut. Has been a thing since the Justice League movie has been released. Now apparently there's a JJ cut of The Rise of Skywalker that is much better, according to the rumor, than what we got in theaters, and is actually what JJ thought was being released into theaters. Again, according to the rumor. I find this one a little bit hard to believe because part of the rumor, because they go into explicit detail of the differences between JJ's cut and the theatrical cut. But I find this hard to believe because part of the rumor, part of the quote-unquote leak that deals with this says that the Finn being force sensitive was explicitly laid out in the JJ cut of the movie. He eventually did get to talk to Rey and eventually did get to tell her, hey, I'm force sensitive. Somehow. That was very explicitly laid out according to this rumor, and that is the big reason why I can't fully believe that this is actually a thing, because J.J. Abrams likes to do that mystery box thing, and this movie's mystery box was Finn. What is he going to tell Rey? We see that he's force sensitive in the movie, but is that what he wants to tell Rey, or is there some romantic interest, or is there something more than just the obvious force sensitivity? We don't know, because that's the way J.J. Abrams works. So again, this rumor might have some kernel of truth, but by and large, I feel like it is not the case. Staying on the Star Wars path, see what I did? Pretty clever. Anyway, we do have a number of other rumors / leaks. I don't know how much of a leak you could consider most of these, but we have a couple of things, and I'm just going to go through them quickly because there isn't a whole lot aside from the potential that these things exist. So, first off, we have rumors floating around that there is going to be a new animated series that is centered on Luke Skywalker, rebuilding the Jedi, the Order of the Jedi, and it's theoretically, should it be a thing that is for real, going to be called New Jedi Order. And according to the rumor, Disney really wants Mark Hamill to come back and voice Luke Skywalker, which kind of makes sense, right? Next, it has to do with The Mandalorian. Mandalorian Season 2 will reportedly have characters from the Skywalker Saga in the movie. Interesting, if that's a real thing. That's it makes sense. That is the time frame we're dealing with. So yeah. Next is the Obi-Wan series, which is reportedly going to be called Old Ben. This has not been confirmed by Disney, but that is the rumor. It's going to be called Old Ben. It is taking precedence over, or priority, I guess, over the Cassian Andor series, which we know is in development. And actually, there is a script for the Cassian Andor series. But because Obi-Wan is kind of a bigger figure in the world of Star Wars, it makes sense that this would be the way of things. But again, it is just a rumor. We don't know that for certain, which now that because of that, the Cassian Andor series is potentially on hold. Next in the Star Wars rumors, there is reportedly going to be the release of the unedited original Holy Trilogy. Apparently, there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo that Disney has to force their way through, but they want to release the Holy Trilogy uncut, un-Lucasified, which to a fair extent is a good thing. I feel like there are legitimately a couple of things that Lucas changed about the Holy Trilogy in the subsequent re-releases that actually make it visually more interesting. There are definitely some horrible choices that he made, but legitimately there are a couple of choices. It's like, yeah, that looks better. Watching a ship fly across the screen looks better than watching lights off in the distance shoot off into the sky, because those could be freaking fireworks for all we know. Anyway, it's little things like that, but I still feel like by and large this is a very smart decision, again, if the rumor is true. And then the last Star Wars rumor that I've got is that there is a Thrawn movie in the works. Yes, that is right. Thrawn, who the Thrawn book from the original extended universe stuff is one of the more influential pieces of the extended universe, and has ties to all of the subsequent movies and that is some of the most influential material in Star Wars. So the fact that they're looking to explore that in the new Disney canon is kind of interesting, again, if the rumor is true. So that's what we've got for Star Wars. Next, we're talking about Wolverine. That's right, Wolverine might be getting a cameo, might be getting we might be seeing who they have cast as the character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What do I mean might be? Why all the vagaries? Well, according to a leaked image from the set of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, there are symbols for Madripoor, which is the country where Wolverine was living undercover for a while as the character Patch. So because there are allusions to Madripoor, at least in these images, that has led to speculation and has led to a number of sources saying that this very likely is a thing. They are going to introduce us at least to Patch, who then will, if things go well, will then be revealed to be Wolverine. This is a pretty smart, in my opinion, this is a pretty smart way to test the waters with an actor, because if it doesn't work out, well then our Patch isn't Wolverine. It's not really Logan, so it's okay. You can not freak out on us, fanboys. But if they do like the actor that they cast to play the character of Patch, then check it out. This is a thing that happened in the comic books. See, aren't we paying such great homage to the source material? This is a safe play on Disney's part, and I can get behind it. I'm okay with it. But yeah, no confirmation, as is the nature of rumors. Next, we're switching gears for a moment. Just for a moment, though. This is the only DC-related piece. Thomas Wayne. We are... the internet kind of broke the other day when Jeffrey Dean Morgan posted the picture with the the comedian mask. He was on his Instagram. He posted a picture of himself wearing the comedian mask with a beanie. Again, I'm gonna try and get the image on screen if you're watching the episode. If you're just listening to it, then imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan with his gray beard and a beanie, a really large, oversized beanie, and his glasses over the top of his comedian mask. And in the post, he says something about how he wants to make, or how he's going to make, a masked return in 2020. He says, here's to a masked return in 2020. So it doesn't say I'm going to return. It doesn't say I want to return. It just says here's to a return. So it's a little vague. It could go either way. Maybe he is in talks to do something and he can't say anything about it now. Who really knows? That's why rumors exist. But the rumor does exist now that he is working secretly on a Thomas Wayne part. Whether or not it's a movie or a cameo still remains to be seen, but that is the rumor. Next, we're switching back over to Marvel because everything else, save for the very last piece, is Marvel-centric. We have Kevin Feige rumored to be introducing Dracula into the Moon Knight series. I saw a really interesting piece of fan art that shows Daniel Radcliffe as Moon Knight, so that's interesting to think about. Anyway, so yeah, Dracula, according to the rumor, and actually Wolf by Night very potentially could be introduced in the Moon Knight series as well. And then our last two pieces aren't actually rumors. Our last two regular pieces. I have a third piece, but we'll get to that. Our last two regular pieces aren't actually rumors. The first one is an update to the New Mutants. It is officially getting a theatrical release. We've been talking about this for months and months and months, and for a while it was like, maybe it's not even gonna get released, and then for a second it was like, well, if it gets released, it's gonna go straight to streaming. Now we have an official announcement. It is going to get a theatrical release, and sometime in the next couple of days, we will see a trailer for the movie. So that's pretty freaking awesome. And it is apparently the final version that the director was working on. It is not a version that has been recut or anything like that by Disney in order to fit their family-friendly image or whatever. So this will still be horror movie a la Mutants, which is kind of cool. And then our last piece is the one that I teased online. If you follow my social medias, Generally Nerdy, basically on everything. Sometimes there's an underscore separating the words, but pretty much if you look for Generally Nerdy, you'll see my Nerdy Ninja, and you can follow me on the social medias. But Ryan Reynolds confirmed on freaking Christmas Eve, when nobody was doing nerd news coverage, confirmed on Christmas Eve on television that Deadpool 3 is in fact being worked on currently. He used the phrase, the whole crew, or it might have been the whole team, something along those lines, where talking about who is working on the movie, and what that means very likely is his production and writing staff is in place, and so that's what he meant by the whole team. But very possibly there is casting things that we don't know about that have happened, but Deadpool 3 is happening. Bob Iger has said that such things can exist in the Disney universe with an R rating, so hopefully they're sticking with that. And that is the regular news. That does it for this episode of Nerd News Headlines. For more in-depth conversation on these nerdy bits, plus much more nerdy action, join me on my YouTube channel, Generally Nerdy. We will be returning to the regular format, potentially not next week, but the week following, where we do news twice a week, as well as rumors. So not just this once a week stuff that we've been doing. And actually last week we had to skip because, you know, Christmas and family and things. So that is the state of things. Again, thank you guys for joining me. While you're here on the Big Show Entertainment Network, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on all of our platforms, and tune in next time for all that's happening across the nerd world.